So meticulously study input section, every bit of thing. You never get any doubt. If you watch the concept zone, you never get a doubt. Otherwise, you purchase your own headache. Okay. Now, how I am writing? You see that room name input. Enter the name of the room. It is a string. And one thing, side headings we write like that. Side comment we have written input section. Now we are writing the input section. Input section we are writing. And before every comment, what we have to write? Hash symbol we write. Okay. Hereafter length, breadth and height. Here one more element is there. Actually length. Now you feel that input is enough. Okay, you are right, nothing wrong here. Enter length. Okay. Here one issue is there. This input function is having a limitation. What is the limitation? Whatever data you give, it takes as a string. Suppose first one is a room name. Room name is a string. That's why you are reading it as a string. No issue. But as far as length is concerned, it is an integer. But it is converted as a string. It reads it like this and all. It is reading like this. How can you make operations on? You are not going to make string oriented operations. You are going to perform integer oriented operations. So here one wrapper is there. Imagine it like this. If a wrapper is there, how can you perform operations? Suppose you have a chocolate with a wrapper. Can you eat it without removing the wrapper? So if you want to perform operations and all that, what should you do? You must remove the wrapper, and whatever value you enter, that we want. That's why one function is provided, that is int function. See that int function, what it does? Now wrapper is there, the string wrapper. Now int function removes this wrapper. That's why for length, breadth and height, additionally input function as well as int function we are writing. So this point already in concept zone I have explained more clearly. You follow that. Hereafter, whenever you are dealing, suppose you are dealing with a float 15.2, then what you do? Float function. Float. Then input function should be written within the float function. That point you have to understand. In this way, 4 input values you are able to enter from keyboard, and those 4 values are stored in the corresponding variables: room name, length, breadth and height. Okay, 2 sections are over. Third section, processing section, a very core section. Here, whatever formula you know, that formula you have to use. Floor area. Actually, here 2 words are there. 2 words means how you name it. Actually, camel case should not be used. That is not the convention in Python. Floor area. You write like that. One thing people should understand. That is the only point you keep in mind and proceed. Okay. Floor area, length into breadth. That already I explained about. 4 walls area. Actually, here one more point is there. Actually, any variable name you write, but the first letter should not be a digit. First letter should not be a digit. That's why what I am doing, walls for. Actually, this type of technical issues are there. Then you have to apply your common sense and do that. Walls for area. People can understand. Thereafter, 2 into height into length plus breadth. Actually, in mathematics and all that, you may not write all symbols. 2h into L plus B. Here, every symbol explicitly should be written. Okay, that the processing section. Because of this processing section and the formula, then the corresponding variables are filled with values. Now we see 6 variables are there: room name, length, breadth and height. Because of the inputting data, because of the input function, the variables are filled with values. The variables are assigned values. As far as floor area and walls floor area is concerned, by these 2 formula, the corresponding variables are filled. Now we need 6 variables. All 6 variables are filled with values. That point you have to understand. So processing section is over. Now all variables are filled with values. Now you have to write output statement. In order to write output statement, already I told you how your output you are expecting, that you take into consideration not only content but also format, and you have to write output statement. For that purpose, as I told you already in the concept zone, You must have perfect command over print function as well as escape sequences like a new line sequence, horizontal tab, etc. Then just a matter half an hour if you practice, you will be perfect over that. Not half an hour is also not enough, not required. What I mean to say. So then you write all print statements, and when you execute the program, ultimately you can generate the output. Once again, you with the reference to this explanation, this is the output. It should be in this thing, and being a first program, not only this, several this is drawing room, you give it for study room, you give it for kitchen room, you give it for some other room. But one thing I'm telling you, if you want to evaluate a program, then you must have common sense. Actually, what are the normal dimensions of the drawing room, study room, and kitchen room, bedroom, and all that? You should know. You should not give really, suppose a bedroom, if you give 20 into 15 and all that, that is not a bedroom, it is a big hall. Huh? So practically, if you have common sense, you give input values properly. Suppose somewhere cost of the price of the rice is there. Price of the rice, it may be 50 to 70, 80 rupees. But if you give 200 rupees, 300 rupees and all that, it is ridiculous. That's why whenever you give input values and all that, what are the actual values in the world around you, you take into consideration. Okay, suppose gold price you are taking. Gold price currently around 50,000 rupees. But if you give 5,000, it is highly ridiculous. If you give 1 lakh also, it is highly ridiculous. So that's why, what are the current prices and all that you take into consideration. Otherwise, your program may be correct, but some professional sees your program, immediately he discounts you. The reason is, you understand that you don't have common sense. Common sense is very core. Whether you don't have programming knowledge or not, tomorrow you can enrich. But if you don't have common sense and all that, everybody discounts you. That point you have to understand and proceed.